Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we'll do a quick practice in anatomy of the hands, and I do mean two hands when we're talking about this particular practice. We're going to be doing hands holding each other like this. So it could be like that or like this. I mean, I'll decide as we go along the way, but that is the main idea of what we're doing. So to begin, and I will use very light strokes I would recommend very light strokes to go about this practice. So we will go and put in, you could put in an oval or you could just put in an exact shape, somewhat like that. And you could of course make it a little boxy if you need to, but this will do for now. And two lines coming down. So as you might have guessed, that's one hand, and that is not the hand that will be holding the other hand. That's going to come here. So for the other hand, again, the same practice. What we're going to do is 1, 2, and maybe 3, depending on the angle. We'll see how this actually comes out. But right now, you're putting that shape going down like that, like so, and let the rest go here like that. So we'll decide how this is going to go and how the fingers will come about. This hand is in the background because this hand is covering this. So we have to start with this one essentially. So let's actually determine the wrist and a part of the hand that's going to go in here. So definitely, whether this is straight or whether it's turned, that much will be inside this hand, which is in the foreground. So we'll do 1, 2, right about here, 3, 4. So those 4 lines are just a framework or a guideline to put down the fingers. So we'll begin. So this, the smallest finger, comes down first, and then we move to the second tallest finger of the hand. Now you could also, I think one good practice might be actually doing sausage shapes. If you do sausage shapes, it'll be easy for you to work with foreshortening, because there is a bit of foreshortening involved here. These fingers are not outstretched like that all the way, like there's a little bend like that. So to show that, one good way is either you can do that, some separations, or just make some sausage shapes. And what will happen is that, see, for instance, this one, you'll get the advantage here that you can make this shape shorter. So that's the tallest finger, and then the index finger. Now to make it more dynamic, you don't need to line it up. You could line up exactly here, but if you give it a bit of its own character, you could go like this, and of course shorter here. Now the knuckle structure somewhere around there. So now we also have to see that the size of this has to complement the size of this. So this cannot be too big, where this is now that I've gone and done this, I'll have to see if I'm going to make this a little smaller, or if I'm going to maintain that size. Now I'm going to first put in the details as in just make this a little more apparent. So there's the skin folds, nails, skin folds, and going down into the knuckles, sort of. And there's the index finger foreshortened as well. And right around here you could actually go like this, like rounder, and put in those show a part of the fingers from this angle. So, and then this goes, the index fingers goes into the skin fold there, and that vanishes. So we put that hand down. Now this one cannot be much larger than this. So we'll bring the wrist down a little bit, and we'll go and bring that whole structure just down a tad bit to make it in line with this. You can actually measure that as you're going, but we are showing this hand from a certain angle. Now I'm doing a fist first. So to get the fist going, you could even put in an oval here just as a guideline, because that is the thumb, and we're showing it from a particular angle, in this case like this. So it doesn't have to be exact, but so I'm putting in the knuckles there, the largest finger, and there is the hand curling up into that fist. So we got that going. Now if we need to work out something more with this, we can. So you could get some more bang for the buck, and you could work this with a different placement and maybe outstretch the thumb a little bit on this hand first, and then you could actually have just outstretched fingers on this guy, in which case the placement of the knuckles, the fingers, will change somewhat. And again, how much dynamic you want to show it, how much of a stretch goes in there, how much the fingers are curled together. I have made them curl together. You could also like line them up separately. You could curl them a little bit and go in here like this, in which case the index finger should come and do that, and then the middle finger could come and do that, or go like that behind that, and the rest you could just line up like this. So it also gives you some shortcuts to work around this. And of course, if there was a light source, a shadow coming down, that's where this like really shines, that you would be putting in some tones, like where the portion of the hand is away from light, and you would just go somewhere around like that. You would shade a portion of this hand that is also away from the light. You would have probably have a bulge here. You could do that, and I'm actually focusing on the hand in the background, which was the fist. And for that matter, you could also work the outstretched hand, and of course some tone, little bit of tone here, and you see if you smudge, it all like starts to blend in nicely, if you see that thumb there. Or you could go put in all the details in those fingers, put a shadow under each finger that is falling onto the other finger, highlight the knuckles. So all those things you can do, and you can do a lot with this just one pose. We could even explore this further in other videos. So thank you for watching. Please let us have your comments. Do subscribe. Keep in touch. Have yourself a wonderful day.